90 Day Fiancé Season 11. Where is Mina's son Clayton now? She received devastating news about him. Mina Mac from 90 Day Fiancé shared a surprising update about her son Clayton shortly before her wedding to Mark Bessette, leaving fans wondering where Clayton is living now. Mina is a former model from Paris who met Mark during one of his work trips to the city. While scanning the restaurant he had just entered, the professional pilot Mark locked eyes with Mina, and the connection was instant. Despite a 23-year age gap, the two began dating. Their relationship progressed quickly, and Mark eventually proposed. The couple welcomed a daughter soon after, adding another milestone to their whirlwind romance. Mina has faced several challenges since relocating to West Ossipee, New Hampshire. She was unhappy that Mark hadn't made their home safe for their 2-year-old daughter, and was further unsettled by the fact that he still had photos of his ex-wife hanging on the walls. Mark's daughter, Jordan, was unkind to Mina, adding to the tension. Meanwhile, Mark's family seemed to suspect Mina's intentions, pressuring him to have her sign a prenup and implying she might be a gold digger. While questioning whether she was making the right decision, Mina also had the added burden of worrying about her son. Why Mina's son didn't come with her to America. Mina's heartbreak over leaving Clayton behind. Mina arrived in the US in 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 Episode 2. While the cameras never captured Mina's life back in France, they did document her leaving her home country with her daughter Maria. However, Mina's son was not with her. It was revealed that there were some issues with Clayton's passport. Mina was slammed for not staying back with her son. She was accused of pretending that she wanted Clayton with her in America. His name is Clayton, a great kid. Mark told the cameras about Clayton. He explained that Clayton was 9 years old and lived in Paris. There had been a complication in Clayton's visa process. Clayton's passport didn't arrive in time for him to come to America with his mom. Clayton had to live with Min's family friend until his visa was processed. Mina admitted she was devastated that Clayton couldn't join her because of his passport delays. Mark agreed to adopt Clayton. Mina's prenup deal led to a surprise from Mark during a video call with Mina's son. Mark expressed his desire for Clayton to be with them, stating, "Honestly, for the moment, I have no idea when he will finally be with me in the US. And it saddens me deeply." Mark had shown willingness to support Clayton, but Mina was unsure of whether Mark would legally make Clayton his son. She decided that she'd ask Mark to adopt Clayton, and if Mark agreed, she would sign his prenup. Mark surprised Mina by revealing he was already planning to adopt Clayton. He wished for Clayton to grow up with a father. Mina discovered Clayton can't attend her wedding. One phone call shattered Mina's hopes for her wedding day. Mark and Mina had just 2 days left to wed in episode 16. Mina kept looking at her phone. She said it was the last day, and she was going to get a call confirming whether Clayton was going to be able to attend her wedding in America. Mina went to see the venue with Mark, but her mind was elsewhere. Mark had organized the wedding all on his own. He wanted to surprise Mina, and she, too, thought the space was beautiful, like Lake Como. Mina was somewhat sure that Clayton was not coming to be with her, but the one phone call was going to make all the difference. Mina seemed to have thought of going back to France rather than wed Mark without Clayton being by her side. The unavoidable happened when Mina received a call from her friend Nancy, who gave her bad news. She informed Mina that Clayton was unable to come to America. Mina broke down when Nancy told her Clayton was not aware and had even packed all his things to go see his mom. Clayton is still in France. Mark is working on bringing Clayton to America and adopting him in May. Mark posted a carousel on Instagram featuring photos of himself, Mina, baby Maria, and Clayton. He shared that the process of bringing Clayton to the US is coming together, and he hopes their family will be reunited soon. Mark assured followers that Clayton was currently in good hands with Mina's sister and cousins. He also revealed that the adoption process will begin once Clayton arrives in the US. "I know how much Mina misses him," Mark wrote, thanking fans for their continued concern, love, and support during this important time for their growing family. One of the hardest things Mina ever had to do was leave her son, Clayton, with her sister in Paris. It was an incredibly difficult decision for the young mother, but she had no choice, as her visa was about to expire. Mina and Mark appear to be married now, and it may have been several months since 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 finished filming. This means Mina has likely been living apart from Clayton for quite some time. However, Mark's reassurance that Clayton is as much his son as he is hers seems to be what keeps her going. Did 90 Day Fiancé's Aminata Mina Mac finally reunite with her son Clayton in the US? TLC. Aminata Mina Mac has moved to the United States to marry Mark Bassett on 90 Day Fiancé, but she is hesitant to get married without her son, Clayton, who is currently in Paris, France. Mina and Mark started their relationship when they met at a restaurant in Paris. After briefly locking eyes, they quickly entered a romantic relationship with the hope of building a future together. Mark felt a strong connection with Mina, and after dating for some time, he proposed to her, taking their relationship to the next level. Mark and Mina got pregnant shortly after their engagement. They welcomed their daughter, Maria, starting a family before getting married. Although Mark hadn't planned to become a father, he accepted the responsibility willingly and embraced his role as a parent. Mark and Mina faced many challenges together, the most notable being their significant 23-year age difference. They joined 90 Day Fiancé Season 11, sharing their unique story with viewers. Like other reality TV couples, Mark and Mina faced skepticism from both relatives and friends. Mark's daughter doubts Mina's intentions, pointing out obvious red flags. Mina's son, Clayton, is 9 years old. Mina gave birth to Clayton during a previous relationship. Mina's son, Clayton, played a significant role in her romantic relationship with Mark. Originally from Paris, Mina had Clayton, her first child, when she was in her mid-20s. She raised him with love and compassion, ensuring he had a good life. However, complications arose after Mina began a relationship with Mark. She obtained her K-1 visa but was unable to bring her 9-year-old son to the United States, leading to her feeling unhappy. Mina even refused to marry Mark unless Clayton could join them in the United States, emphasizing that her son was her top priority. Why did Mina move to the US without Clayton? Clayton encountered troubles with passport and visa. Mina misses Clayton in the United States, leading many 90 Day Fiancé viewers to question her decision to move to the country without him. In reality, she chose to do so in hopes of reuniting with Clayton once his passport issues were resolved. She was pleased to learn that Mark was interested in adopting her son. Unfortunately, visa-related delays were unavoidable for both Mark and Mina, leaving them with no choice but to wait and miss their child. Mina was unhappy being in the United States without her 9-year-old child, feeling incomplete without him. Clayton is missing from Mina's family photos. Mina's latest photos feature her entire family, including Mark, Maria, and Mina herself, enjoying their time in the United States. In December, Mina posted pictures of her family celebrating the new year. She captioned the post with, "Sunset on a great and here's to an even better for all our family, friends, and loved ones." Unfortunately, Clayton, Mina's son, wasn't present in the new pictures. His absence from most of Mina's recent Instagram posts indicates that he hasn't yet received his visa to travel to the United States. Mina's latest photos feature her entire family, including Mark, Maria, and Mina herself, enjoying their time in the United States. In December, Mina posted pictures of her family celebrating the new year. She captioned the post with, "Sunset on a great and here's to an even better for all our family, friends, and loved ones." Unfortunately, Clayton, Mina's son, wasn't present in the new pictures. His absence from most of Mina's recent Instagram posts indicates that he hasn't yet received his visa to travel to the United States. In May, Mina and Mark provided an update on Clayton's US visa. Mark stated, "The work to get Clayton to the USA is coming together," expressing hope that Clayton will soon be reunited with him, Mina, and Maria. Mark also explained Clayton's current living situation in Paris, mentioning that he is being taken care of by Mina's sister and cousins. Mark is looking forward to officially adopting Mina's son. He mentioned to 90 Day Fiancé viewers that he will begin the adoption process once Clayton arrives in the United States. I think more 90 Day Fiancé stars could learn from Mina. In the latest episode of 90 Day Fiancé, a determined Mina Mac is on the hunt for the truth and refuses to give up no matter how awkward the situation might be. 35-year-old reality TV star Mina is a newcomer who's engaged to 58-year-old Mark Bassett. Together, the 90 Day Fiancé franchise couple share a 2-year-old daughter, who's also been alongside the newer couple this season. However, with each appearance, Mina seems to be greeted with another bright red flag. Her fiancé's daughter, Jordan, doesn't approve of their relationship, which continues to add more pressure to her relationship. Mina often feels like an outcast because it seems like Mark's family would rather side with Jordan and are equally suspicious of the French woman. On top of that, after talking to a close friend of Mark's, Mina made some interesting discoveries. Now Mina is prepared to confront her fiancé's ex, and I think her ambition to find out the truth before the 90 days is up is a quality all the stars could learn from. Unlike many of the other franchise stars, Mina isn't sticking around for the vague answers her fiancé, Mark, is offering her. Instead, she's taking matters into her own hands, like meeting his ex face-to-face. To get the truth, Mina often feels like an outcast because it seems Mark's family would rather side with Jordan and are equally suspicious of the French woman. On top of that, after talking to a close friend of Mark's, Mina made some interesting discoveries. Now Mina is prepared to confront her fiancé's ex, and I think her ambition to find out the truth before the 90 days is up is a quality all the stars could learn from. Unlike many of the other franchise stars, Mina isn't sticking around for the vague answers her fiancé, Mark, is offering her. Instead, she's taking matters into her own hands, like meeting his ex face-to-face, to get the truth menu. I think more 90 Day Fiancé stars could learn from Mina. In the latest episode of 90 Day Fiancé, a determined Mina Mac is on the hunt for the truth and refuses to give up no matter how awkward the situation might be. 35-year-old reality TV star Mina is a newcomer who's engaged to 58-year-old Mark Bessette. Together, the 90 Day Fiancé franchise couple share a 2-year-old daughter who's also been alongside the newer couple this season. However, with each appearance, Mina seems to be greeted with another bright red flag. Her fiancé's daughter, Jordan, doesn't approve of their relationship, which continues to add more pressure to her relationship. Mina often feels an outcast because it seems Mark's family would rather side with Jordan and are equally suspicious of the French woman. On top of that, after talking to a close friend of Mark's, Mina made some interesting discoveries. Now Mina is prepared to confront her fiancé's ex. And I think her ambition to find out the truth before the 90 days is up is a quality all the stars could learn from. Unlike many of the other franchise stars, Mina isn't sticking around for the vague answers her fiancé, Mark, is offering her. Instead, she's taking matters into her own hands, like meeting his ex face-to-face, to get the truth. Mina wants the truth and is relentless. With these red flags appearing, Mina made one thing clear: the 90 Day Fiancé newcomer was going to get to the bottom of the situation and find out the truth one way or another. She refuses to let anything stand in her way because clarity and making the right decision are crucial to her. I think her relentless attitude is particularly evident in how she handles the situation with Mark's friend Diana. When Diana and Mina were out shopping, Mark's friend revealed that he was still communicating with his ex when he was also talking to his new fiancé. Mina was taken back and asked Diana for more clarity, to which she discovered that from the beginning of her relationship with Mark he was still torn between getting back together with his ex, Jade. However, instead of taking her issues out on Diana or confronting Mark as many other stars would do, Mina took it up a notch. Instead, she got dolled up, and as she was ready to leave the house, she announced she was going to see Jade, and I was floored. Not only did I think her blunt declaration was hilarious, but I rarely see stars actually moving forward the way Mina is. I think Mina's desire to have a solid familial unit is clear, but she's also not willing to settle. I think Mina has a solid head on her shoulders, and her way of tackling these red flags is a great example of how she's open-minded but still making sure she's making the right decision for herself and her daughter. Mina is using the K1 visa to her full advantage. One of the biggest concerns I have with the 90 Day Fiancé stars in general is how they often mismanage their 90 days in America. When the stars arrive in America on the visa, they have 90 days to get married, which isn't a lot of time. In fact, most franchise couples often complain about how little time they have to get to know their partner, help them adjust to American culture, and plan a wedding in 90 days. Yet, over the years, so many couples don't use the visa time wise. Stars like Mohammed Abdelhamid and Ive Ariano spent their 90 days arguing over differing opinions about appropriate clothing styles, their cultures, and whether or not men were allowed in the house when a Muslim man wasn't around. Other stars like Big Ed Brown seem to care more about their own image and finding someone to keep them company from season to season. However, Mina has an end goal in mind, and she doesn't seem she's willing to waver from her past. Mina realizes she only has 90 days, and with a little girl in tow, it's even more critical that she gets to the bottom of any issues within her relationship. In my opinion, Mina is using the visa and the 90 days to her best advantage, which the other stars could benefit from. Instead of marrying her partner on a whim or arguing over clothing like some of the other couples, Mina's making sure she has every answer to each question before she says "I do." If more stars approached their relationships they'd probably be more successful at choosing the right partner, and I also think it adds a unique layer of drama not seen often on the franchise.